So today, in this episode of the podcast, I'm just going to share one strategy that's going to help with both of those things that the students share. So this one strategy is going to help with your support of your students' success. So it will help them see you as supporting them in their journey of like doing well in your class. And also, it will help them like you better as well. Are you ready to hear about this strategy? So the strategy is organization. Being more organized is actually the first thing that I would recommend that you do if you are getting negative course evaluations. I would actually start here before improving on your teaching skills. And you may find that being more organized will inherently improve what you do in the classroom because you're just more prepared. Organization is so important, especially if you teach one of those subjects like me. So I teach math. And that's inherently a pretty scary subject for students. And so I don't want my disorganization to be yet another thing that's holding them back from doing well in a math class, right? You want to remove that excuse from the students of like why they didn't do well in your class. You don't want it to be because of you and how you are mismanaging or just not managing the organization of your class. Okay, so let's talk about how I identify that organization would be helpful here. So one thing that I want to share is I do a first day of class activity, which I do share activities on what to do on the first day of class in an earlier episode. I'll make sure to link that episode in the show notes in the description of the video for you to find it. But in my Calculus 1 class, I always do a first day of class activity called the Who Am I activity. And this is where students write down information about themselves. And one of the questions that I ask them to answer is, what makes a great math professor? Like in their experience, taking math classes up until now, what have they noticed to be the best skills or characteristics of an awesome math professor? And here's what they always say. Number 1, organization. Number 2, clarity. And then some of them will say, number 3, knowledge about the topic. That's like down on the list. They really want someone who's organized and who can be very clear in their explanations. And so for my students in pre-calculus and calculus 1, those classes are hard enough without the students having to struggle to be like, okay, well, where do I find this information? How do I know what's due? What do I need to do to prepare for the next day of class? What do I need to study for the test? Like, I should have these answers readily available for them to find on their own so that doesn't become another point of stress for them in this class.